Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chairman and CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt.
Good afternoon. What you have seen there is a history, a short history, but a very fast history of Android. And who would have thought a few years ago that we would end up with more than 300,000 Android activations per day, and that number is growing very fast, and more than 170 compatible Android devices, 27 OEMs, 169 carriers, and 69 countries. And now it's interesting, we have more than 150,000 applications on our Android App Store. That number has tripled in 9 months. So this is, I believe, now the fastest growing mobile platform in the world. Of course it's appropriate that we be here at the most important mobile congress in the world as well. This is not about a phone, it's not about a platform, it's about an ecosystem and everybody here in the room working together. And what I want to do is I want to put what we're doing and why we're doing it into a kind of perspective that can help you understand what we're doing and maybe get your help in building it out, because we're going to need everybody to help us make this thing what it can really be in. I particularly like coming to Europe because European government always thinks ahead. Broadband targets, right? European Union broadband targets. Basic broadband for every European Union citizen by 2013, 100%. Good. Fast broadband defined as 30 megabits per second. They want 100% of EU citizens to have that by 2020, and they want 50% of the European households to have subscriptions above 100 megabits per second in 2020. Now this is a group I can work with, because this is a group that really understands the power of broadband, the power of connectivity, and the importance that this has in everything we do. Our daily lives, the way we literally live, work, play, entertain ourselves, the structure of our markets, and so forth and so on. Now, I've been thinking a lot about this, because we've seen so much progress, right? So much progress in the last decade. And it's interesting that it's happening so fast, people don't appreciate how profound these changes are. And everything's changing again. Sorry to say, if you just feel like you're a little bit being jerked around by it all. And I've actually come to a new view. I actually think it's going to get to the point where technology is going to serve humans and not the other way around, which is what it seems to be today. We seem to be spending all of our time serving technology. And it's interesting that Joe Scarborough just wrote an article. He's an American columnist who's very sort of well followed. He talks of a world where computers offer a cold substitute to human contact. And he says, technology is winning the battle against actual human contact. And I think that this kind of criticism is exactly wrong. That in fact what we're building is in fact the opposite of what people are criticizing us for. That in fact the goal of everything we're doing is so that I can spend more time with the people that I care about, friends, family, and so forth and so on. That I can spend more time exploring new places. That I can have a more fulfilled life as I define it. And that I can make the world a better place. And for every version of I just said, say yourself, or say your friends, or say all of the human citizens. And I would offer sort of a happiness theorem that computers are really here to make us happier. And that the quicker we can get to doing what we want, because computers take care of the stupid stuff, the stuff that bugs us, the stuff that's in our way, the better for all of us. So why is this occurring today? Because of the prevalence of mobile networks. This is what this whole conference is about. A music player that's not online is not particularly interesting. Think every single device you have and imagine that it's connected to the cloud and can do something more interesting. There are almost no exceptions. And in fact, physicists, technologists, and so forth are working very hard to make that possible. So what's interesting about developers is today they think mobile first. And they think mobile first because they know that this is where the scale is. So if you're a young programmer, somebody coming right out of college, or somebody trying to start a new business, you're going to start mobile first because that's where the growth is. That's where the action is. Whether it's true in our platforms, competitors' platforms, or others. And how did all of this happen? Well, it's occurred because of three underlying technology trends that have been going on for a long time. When I was at Sun in 1983, I was very excited about the 3M platform. 1 megapixel, 1 megabit, essentially 1 megahertz. Now today, these computers, my Nexus S, for example, has 160 gigabyte of flash memory, a gigahertz processor, and a camera that takes 5 megapixel photos. Who would have thought that in that period of time, all the things that I worked so hard to build, it took so many people, could now be put literally in my hand. And this, of course, is just this month's flavor. Imagine next month and the following month and so forth and so on. You get the idea. And in fact, what's interesting is we've talked about this for a long time. It's not like these ideas have been, the whole notion of cloud computing is a new one. It's been present in one form or another in computing and computer science for many, many decades. So smartphones are clearly taking over, right? Last year, I predicted, based on a whole bunch of analysis, that within 2 years, smartphones would surpass PC sales. Well, as usual, I was wrong. Smartphones surpassed PC sales on a quarterly basis last week. And by the way, PCs are not catching up at the rate they're going. So it's already over. We already know that the smartphone is the destination for the next generation of games, apps, social connectivity, all the things that we all care about. And it's interesting in sort of reflecting on the history of this, and I'm old enough to actually be able to think about these things. This device has more than 20,000 times the computing capability of the sort of the lunar mission in 1969. Again, you start thinking about what has occurred, what we can put in people's hands today, and it's just alarming at how powerful these things really are. And of course, the same thing that's occurred on the networks. The average connection speed for smartphones increased by over 60% versus 2009. Now, many of you are on networks where you don't feel that's true. But the fact of the matter is, it is. What's happened is that the connections have gone up and your demands have gone up even higher. But the fact of the matter is that the operators, many of whom in this room, are pouring billions and billions of dollars and euros to make it possible for us to offer wireless data at this scale. And it's interesting that we're at the point now where roughly 98 or 99% of the world's mobile phone operators offer megabit per second or higher speeds, EVDO and up. Again, a great accomplishment, a lot of hard work, a lot of frustration on their part to serve their customers, our joint customers. And what's interesting now is with the rollout of LTE, and everybody here knows what LTE is, a lot of the show is talking about it, it is reasonable to expect that you can get a sustained 8 to 10 megabits. LTE, of course, is spec'd out well above 50 megabits. And what am I going to do with that 8 to 10 megabits? Well, I can think of some things, but what's more importantly is that this LTE platform, whose rollout is going to occur this year, will create the opportunity for another set of applications which we can only imagine, which will be interactive and gaming and location-based and so forth for precisely that reason. So what happens is you have the phone, sort of the new PC, if you will. You have the network with this phenomenal wireless data productivity. Again, think 10 megabits going from 1 megabit pretty much universally around the world, which is a gift from my perspective to mankind, from all the people who built that. And then you have cloud computing. And companies like Google are building very, very large data stores, literally millions of computers that are linked together that provide these services. So when you see a demo or you see somebody doing something, remember that they're showing it to you on their phone, but the key thing is that it's working with the service. And you can imagine that this has a lot of implications for things going on. What can my phone do? It can take photographs. Well, why are those photographs not automatically uploaded when I take them? It can take videos. Why are they not automatically uploaded? My phone with a social component, with my permission, knows where my friends are. So maybe it can suggest my friends are nearby. There are many games that have come out that are very popular startups that are doing precisely that. Again, another interesting thing. Wouldn't it be interesting if you thought of the goal of your phone is first as a communications device? Well, we've already taken that for granted. Second, as a data and browsing platform and computation platform, which is what everybody's excited about now. And then the third, what about a serendipity platform? What about your phone helping you learn new things and meet new people you would not otherwise? That is the future of the platform that we are all building together. So this idea is not a new idea. Bill Gates in 1990 said the following: information at your fingertips, all the information that someone might be interested in, including information they can't even get today. What happened over 20 years? We had to build it out. The vision was correct, but we had to build the operating systems, the programming languages, the browser platforms, the underlying networking connectivity, all the various underlying wireless encryption protocols and distribution protocols, the cellular network, the roaming charges, the roaming business structures, and so forth and so on. So all of a sudden now, with your phone, why can't, when my phone, and I'm in traffic, I'm trying to figure out where I'm trying to go, and I have a choice of bridge or tunnel or this path or that path, why is my phone not talking to my friend's phone and trying to figure out what route they took and whether it was faster? I'll give you another example. Why is my phone not able to do something really important, which is telemetry of monitoring people who are ill? Wouldn't it be better to have your phone be taking care of your health? Think about it. It's there all the time. It's always on, and it might as well monitor your blood pressure. And indeed, there are people operating on that sorry about the pun, to make that sort of stuff happen. Even more importantly, because these things are unified now, we can do something which is startling when you look at it. We can take devices, and in mid-use, because it's cloud-based, you could substitute another device. So, for example, with our book product, this is true of others as well. You're busy reading a page, somehow the phone breaks or what have you. Switch to a different device, either a PC or a phone, and there you are on the same page because it's all cloud resident. So all of a sudden you have this agility, you have this ability that nobody else could do. So you really can do magic. Google Translate, the ability to talk to your phone and have it come out on the other end in Spanish. And it's funny that you sit there and you think, we've talked at length about universal translation, and yet here it is, it's just arrived because of the combination of the phone, the network, and all those computers. The phone just takes your voice, the network just delivers the voice in encrypted or digitized form, and the supercomputer that's in the cloud does the appropriate video and voice recognition, the translation, the voice generation, and out it comes back the other way, and that's done in, you know, a 20th of a second or what have you. So all of a sudden, you can be anybody you want in terms of your ability to speak a language. You can, if you have trained in CPR, right, you can tell a location-based app to notify when your help is needed, and you can go off and help save a life. Start thinking about the implications of that level of smartness, location dependency, and again, with your permission, sharing of information with your friends. What I thought I would do is take a minute and show a demo of some of the things that you can do. It might not be obvious. And I thought I'd ask one of our Google executives, Gil, to come and join us. Gil, where are you? Can you join us? There he is, Gil. And maybe you have actually developed an interesting application on an interesting new device. Maybe you want to show this device.
I'd love to. Thank you, Eric. Good afternoon, everyone. In the last couple of days, I've been taking a tour of historical landmarks of Barcelona. I used my Nexus S to take a few photos, record a few video clips, which I then uploaded to my Picasa account. Nexus S is a great device for using it around town. It's light, fits in my pocket. But when I get home or to my hotel room, I would love to use a different form factor. For me, the new Motorola Zoom tablet is a great delivery device for media. Now, these new devices are great not only for consuming media, but also creating it. With the advent of 4G networks, users will be enabled to use high-quality video over wireless networks like never before. Today, I'm going to demonstrate for you Movie Studio, a new Android application which allows users to edit videos. It's an application built from the ground up for the tablet form factor. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to open Movie Studio. You're going to see that I have here a few projects that I've been working on. and I prepared a project for the purpose of this demo. Now, in this project, I already imported 3 images and 1 video clip. As you can probably tell, on the first image, I already added a title that says that I pretty much enjoyed my trip back in time in Barcelona. What I would like to show you is some of the customizations you can bring to Movie Studio to fit your artistic ability. So one of the things we can do is we can reorder these media items in the movie timeline. How about I grab this nice picture of the National Palace and move it right after the first picture. I really like this one, so let's take a quick look at it and add a special effect to it. How about a pan and zoom effect? So I'll select pan and zoom. Now I have the ability to change independently the start and the end rectangle. So let's leave the start where it is. And for end, maybe I'll just do a little bit of zoom just for the effect. There we go. I could customize this project in many other ways. I can change the duration of images in the timeline. I could trim the beginning or end of video clips. I can add color effects to my photos and to my video clips. Now let's look towards the end of the movie. This is a video clip I took. I don't want my movie to end this abruptly, and therefore I was thinking a nice fade to black transition will look good at the end. So let's look at that. And my movie is almost done, but I think something is missing. I know. I think a nice background audio track would make this movie interesting, so I believe that it would be appropriate to select some Spanish guitar too. So I'll import that into my movie. And we are ready to preview this movie now. That will give you an idea of how the movie will look like. How about, let's watch that transition at the end. Good. I'm happy with that. Now, once you have the movie set up the way you want it, how about we export this movie, make it a real movie, and we'll select the movie size. So we'll make it 720p. And the quality, let's say high, and export it. Now, I'm not going to export this now. It will take a little bit of time, and we don't have that now. So I already did that before this demo, and I'm ready now to share this movie with my friends on YouTube. I'm going to select that I want to share it on YouTube. Let's just call it Barcelona 2011. How appropriate. And there you go. The upload has started. Now, I hope I get happy here with my network connection in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to YouTube. And we're going to look at my channel where I usually see my downloads. Let's just wait a little bit.
And we should mention, by the way, that this is the new Honeycomb operating system.